Well, every Sunday, Pat Sullivan from Sullivan Hardware and Garden provides some great advice for do-it-yourself home improvements. Today, he talks about planting grass seed.
Well, you know, it's almost there. It's almost grass seed time. With warm temperatures now and for next week or so, it looks like with the soil temperature now, the soil temperature is always behind the air temperature. So soil temperature, once it gets to be about in the mid-50s, you can start planting grass seed. So in the next week or 10 days, I would think about starting to put some grass seed down. So here's the thing. First of all, in a store, the store always sells more dense shade mix than they do sunny mix. Do you know why that is? Because grass doesn't grow in the shade. So every year, if you read on the back, this is Scott's makes an excellent dense shade seed. But if you read on the back, right on there, it'll tell you will grow with as little as 3 hours of sunlight per day. Well, if you have a dense shade area, it may be getting very little light. So what happens is people come in each spring, they go, this is going to be the year. I'm going to put grass seed down. I'm going to grow grass under that tree. And they put it down and it comes up and we're all happy and we celebrate. And then you go on vacation, you go to the lake, and then this grass just slowly starts going away, and you blame yourself. I wasn't there to water it, I didn't fertilize it, but next year it's going to be different. Well, really what happens, the canopy of the tree fully leaves out, you have a reduced light situation, and then the grass slowly goes away, and then by fall it's gone. And you blame yourself, and it's not your fault at all. So in those areas, think about it. If it's too shady, really, you might think about doing some ground cover. But if you want to have 1 year of grass, that's fine. Different ways to do it. Everyone always thinks this is a shade mix, so this is fescue. And everyone always thinks bluegrass is the most expensive. This is bluegrass. Now, this is coated with a coating that Scott's puts on it to help it hold moisture, and that's very important as well. But there's about 800,000 seeds per pound, I count it. And with this one, there's about 250,000 seeds per pound, I count it. So this really, everybody thinks bluegrass is more expensive. It really goes a lot longer. So it takes 5 to 7 pounds for fescue, 1 to 2 pounds for bluegrass. So buying the very best seed is so important. Now, if you're doing one patch and you have what we call a common seed lawn, maybe you don't want to spend the money on, maybe you want just a common seed. But if you're doing a pretty good size area, I would buy the very best seed you can get, has the most disease resistant and the most drought tolerance. It has all the new things. Now, for this is very popular, this type of thing. This is Easy Seed. And this is seed mixed with a coconut husk that literally you can pour it on concrete and it'll grow. So you lazy people that don't really want to prep the soil, Easy Seed might be the thing. You know, another thing that's becoming very popular, treating the soil, feeding the soil. This is Love Your Lawn, Love Your Soil. And what that does is it actually makes the soil less compact, a little better for roots to grow. Don't forget the fertilizer, very important when you're doing grass seed, and really spreading it properly. Now, this is a regular hand spreader, got a little crank here, and so you get a nice even spread. Now, and I know that that's a lot of work, so the Scott's company has come up with this. You know, because that cranking can be so bad. So now you don't even have to crank it. We're covering the seed. You don't have to in the spring. Everybody sees the straw. I would not use straw. We sell straw, but it's just such a mess. I would either use nothing. I would use peat moss. You can get some grass mats or even something like this, which is harvest guard. But again, in the spring, the birds are going to get a little bit of it, but you really don't need it. So grass seed coming up. We're ready to go.
All right, some great advice there.